Hi YouTube, Joel from Jonesy's, and today we're kicking off another really awesome project here in the shop. Happens to be a 78 or 79 Ford F250 four-wheel drive. I'll have to confirm what year, but it's one of those 2 years anyway. As you can see, maybe got teased a little bit by what you see behind me. Yes, it is a 5.9 Cummins compound turbo setup that we are going to give you all of the preliminary installation details in the video coming up next. Thanks for watching. Customer brought us a empty shell here, and we are in the early stages of getting everything kind of fit in the chassis and positioned. We're fabricating new mounts, obviously big downpipe for those compound turbos, as well as plumbing, intercooler, fuel, plumbing, all that stuff. So we've got the engine kind of temporarily set in position. We're using the Gen 2 mounts that came on the engine. This engine was originally installed in, I want to say, 94 through 97, obviously P-pump Dodge truck with the automatic. And so with those compound turbos, the previous owner of this engine had all kinds of transmission problems. And so it has been detuned a little bit so that the transmission will survive, and the transmission has been upgraded with all kinds of cool parts. So the P-pump has dual feeds for the fuel. This is a little bit not out of the ordinary for us, but we don't do a lot of. I try to always tone down a lot of these excessively high horsepower, high torque builds, and we try to build stuff that's a little bit more toned down, a little bit more on the reliability scale. But anyway, this was the donor vehicle. This was the donor engine that my customer brought us, and so by golly, we're going to put it in for him. We're working on getting throttle pedal, the original Ford pedal. You can see it's bolted in, and we cut off the rod that went up because it would have positioned everything right in behind the cylinder head, and that would never work. So we're reworking the Ford throttle pedal so that we'll have a cable that'll come out of the firewall, probably in this general area, and then obviously come up and hook up to the P-pump. I'm probably gonna continue to run vacuum brakes, so we'll keep the vacuum pump. Had to cut a lot out of this front cross member here. You can see we just went to town with the plasma cutter to get the clearance that we needed. We still obviously have some cleanup stuff we need to do there. We've had the front clip on, and I'll kind of go over that next. We've had the front clip on, and we have good radiator clearance, so we're gonna be able to run the mechanical fan. This massive 4-inch downpipe, we had to build a kind of a custom unit here, and we ended up needing to clearance the frame a little bit. There was just no way we were gonna be able to get a full 4-inch downpipe in there without clearance in that frame. So we'll box that in to make sure that it's reinforced. And then obviously we've got some notes on the firewall about where we need to trim and where we need to clearance. Engine position is good. I'm happy with it. So we'll continue kind of mocking things up. We're about ready to hang the NP205 transfer case, and then we'll build our rear cross member. So once we have that transfer case installed, I'll obviously show you guys the details of that, and then we'll build our cross member, or figure out how we're gonna mount that cross member. As far as the radiator goes, you can see this is the factory Ford radiator. So Champion Radiators actually makes a conversion radiator that swaps those so that it puts the outlet, meaning cold water going into the engine, on the passenger side, and moves the water inlet over to the driver's side so that it has a Chevrolet configuration. They advertise that it cools up to about 700 horsepower, but most of the time Cummins, they run cold anyway, so I don't think we're gonna have any issues with cooling. Now, as for the intercooler, this is a 99 Power Stroke intercooler replacement unit, CSF. Had to cut off some of the tabs, some of the mounting tabs, and also we're, like I said, in the preliminary stages. You can see kind of we're clearancing the bottom portion so that we can maintain the factory Ford hood latch. Still got a little bit more work here to get this intercooler fit correctly in the core support. And then once we do have it positioned nicely, we'll build some angle brackets here. We'll weld some tabs back on and get it mounted correctly, and probably just retain some of the regular saddle mount here that the original Power Stroke utilized. So that's about it for where we're at so far on this swap. As you can tell, it's the stuff you just got to keep chipping away at it. Make little steps here, little steps there, and then eventually you'll get to the point where all of your mock-up is done and that beautiful Cummins can come out. We'll paint the firewall, and we'll be off to the races for final installation. Anyway, if you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It really does help with our searchability. That's why all the YouTube creators ask for it. So if you do like our channel and you like these videos and you want to see more, definitely subscribe, definitely hit the like button. Thank you for watching.